Welcome back to the GSTL. TSL is one player left. It's Hyun. It's all up to him. If he loses a single map, it's all over.
Yeah, Hyun has to take it now. The score is 1-4, and MVP Monster, he has played an incredible series so far. He really showed his skills here. I did not expect him to play this well, but he took down Bolt, Shine, and Symbol. Now he's up against Hyun, the last Zerg standing for Team TSL.
Yep. And Hyun can't even express himself in the chat because on his PC there's no Hangul, so he can't actually write anything. He just said Chogosu Monster. It's really funny. It's really difficult to actually express yourself if you can't type in Hangul.
Yeah.
You have to decide how are things spelled in English, or do you just type the letters of what it would be in Hangul?
I had that problem at WCS when I tried to talk to a few of the players, and I realized, okay, I don't have Hangul on my keyboard, so I thought about how would you actually say that in English, and I started to type that, and I look at it and I'm like, this looks so weird, this is so wrong, nobody's gonna understand that.
Well, Hyun, whether people understand him in the lobby chat or not, is irrelevant at this moment. He's the last player standing. Can he take out Monster here at the GSTL Casper Powder and Wolf?
Starting to the bottom right of the map is our TSL player. It's the last Zerg for Team Swarm Life after Symbol, Shine, Bolt, and Ragnarok got defeated. Yes.
TSL Hyun!
14 fight clubs in a row. He won them all. Now he's up against another Zerg player here at the GSTL semifinals. He's the last hope for his team. He's up against a very strong opponent, up against MVPs.
MVP Monster!
Starting with a 10 pool.
10 pool, very appropriate in this case on a two-player map. Wiping the sweat off his brow, not really, just fixing his bangs. They were a little bit askew.
He has done everything right in this team match so far. He can relax even if he loses here. He has done his job. We still have maps like Antigua Shipyard left that a player, like for example Keen, can use against Hyun if need be. But this 10 pool might end things for Hyun already. He's going for the 15 hatch.
Yeah, very late pool. And if he goes gas before hatch, he may just die. Or gas before pool, sorry.
If he plays so greedy here, yeah, that could certainly be the case. We've seen a lot of players hold against early link attacks with nice drone micro, but now Hyun is just trying to squeeze in additional drones. He's not going straight for the pool, no. He adds another drone, 15 hatch and 15 pool apparently.
Yeah, no gas though, so he's not in the worst possible place. And his pool placement is really nice here. It could help him out for sure.
The Overlord for TSL Hyun will detect what's going on. There is one drone.
He's going to spine, I think.
Yeah, I think he's going to use a spine crawler here. He should.
He's been spotted though, so he's going to wait a little bit before he does that.
But it adds a little bit of additional pressure if you move in with the drone and then start to build a spine crawler while your Zerglings are starting to attack. And we have actually Monster not going for an expansion, but straight into gas and
he's
additional
gonna
Zerglings.
As a follow-up to this. He sends his drone back home as well. He's not going to use that spine. He's not even going to try it. Interesting.
Jan, of course, knows now what's coming. He saw it with his Overlord.
The rest on this map is actually quite far. We'll see if he can actually force a cancel here. It's going to be close.
If Hyun doesn't pull drones, he has to definitely cancel this hatch.
Well, he doesn't cancel.
Is he able to hold that? I don't feel that he has a chance without a drone pull. There they are.
Here come the drones.
A lot of them.
And you can't really drone drill in this position with the Lings on the other side of the hatchery.
Yeah, but so far Hyun does well.
He's going to fight here, it looks like.
That's a lot of mining time loss. This is the biggest problem for Hyun now, but still he is 17 to 14 drones. And he has the expansion, something that Monster just doesn't have. Yeah. So far, so good for Hyun. Well defended. Lost a bit of mining time, but that's all that happened. Oh, MVP Monster actually trying to go for the expansion. He has enough gas for the speed upgrade, starts it immediately. But yeah, he starts to go for the natural.
He pulled out a gas as well. He realized this didn't really go as planned, so he decided to change his strategy.
Well defended by Hyun here. Hyun doing a good job, having 2 queens now on the bottom of the ramp. The Zerglings at the ramp itself to block it if there's a run by.
Yeah. The tech is very far ahead for Monster though, and that's something he will be able to use if he wants to.
This economy is looking really, really good for Hyun, and he has a spine crawler that he's building now. He wants to be defensive, and now Monster starts to mine gas again, heads into a Baneling nest. Let's have a quick look at the harvester count. 20 to 15. 7 additional ones being built for Hyun, and still mining, of course, from 2 mineral lines, which gives him an edge in the game.
He's making 6 lings, man. I think he's just going to fall with the all-in regardless.
Yeah.
There's 1 spine, he saw that. He wants to check again to see if more spines are made. He's going to use the hatchery, of course, just for production in this case, if that's what he decides to do.
Hyun doesn't have a lot of scouting information yet. This is one of his biggest problems now. He's playing it a bit blind. He has the overlords and sees the hatch, but that's it.
Since he moved his overlord, actually was chased away by Monster, he can actually get away with hiding all of his lings on the path to attack. That is going to be so scary. Oh my god, if you can't see the lings coming.
But Hyun builds a second spine crawler. He builds another spine crawler. He has heavily droned though. He has 34, will have 39 harvesters in just a few seconds against 15. He needs a good defense now.
Well, he shows the lings regardless. They're a little bit, they're a little bit later.
He starts to build a wall. Goes for 2 evolution chambers already. He could completely wall here. The second spine crawler will be ready. He pulls the drones in the main base. And here we go. He needs to block this, and he does. The spine crawlers are in a good position, but no transfuses for the queens.
No transfuses, the lings are in. He's going to wish he had lings and not drones now.
Yeah, definitely, and he will lose. I feel like he's going to lose too much. Wolf, can he hold this?
It's going to be possible, but difficult. I mean, he's got the spine still up. The spine is actually fighting with this.
Yeah, and he has the drones. He's fighting with the drones. He's not even losing the queen. He's doing a good job here. And still, we have so many harvesters for Hyun. 34 against 15. His economy is just much better.
One of the problems, though, is that he can kill this hatchery in the main, or not kill it, but shut down its mining for a long period of time.
There are enough Zerglings for Hyun. As long as he dodges those Banelings, well, that didn't work too well.
He will save the hatch. There's no way he's going to lose the hatchery, but, you know, Monster is actually keeping up the attack.
Hyun is kind of weird. He has 2 spine crawlers as long as he blocks here.
And he does, so far.
He needs to target a little bit better, though. There are 3 spine crawlers that could damage. He needs to target those Banelings. He should. The hatch. Yeah, he doesn't have enough hit points from the attack earlier. So the hatch is going to die. Wow.
Gets into the main base as well.
Monster makes this work.
And he actually has Banelings can morph. He's going to go for the hatchery with a few of the lings. I don't think the Banelings were spotted. Actually, they were. Cancels them.
This is a crazy game. I did not expect Monster to go for this natural, but that makes, of course, perfect sense. It was damaged earlier, and therefore he could just take it down, and now things change. We have 2 bases for Monster.
He needs to make sure no Banelings ever get up. If any Banelings get up, then he's gonna lose too much here.
Monster is still building units. He still wants to go for the aggression here. He's not droning up. He has 16 harvesters against 19, but he has 2 bases.
It's too risky to move the spine crawlers. I actually think he could just drone, right? At this point, I feel that would not even be unreasonable.
No, he could, but he wants to end this game now. He wants to end it now. He knows that Hyun still has way more harvesters than he does.
The Banelings are targeted this time.
Nice targeting. He should have done that with a first attack, but now this... Yeah, Monster's gonna lose these Zerglings.
He's gonna try to kill the queen, maybe.
A very crazy game. Pretty awkward at times, but this is still Hyun being at 28 harvesters against 16, and this hatch at the bottom of the ramp will be completed.
He's starting drones at home now, finally, as he continues the aggression here. And I'm a little bit surprised he didn't go for the queen. He's just trying to run circles quite literally around his opponent's lings.
The income is still better for Hyun, and Hyun now has speed on his way. You know, looking at this, Hyun still has a very good position.
Yeah, I agree, actually. I think Monster way overcommitted to that.
If you look at the harvesters lost, Monster only killed 5 Harvesters. That's all that he was able to take down. Now the Queens are blocking the gap. These 2 Evolution Chambers that he built really helped Hyun out quite a bit. And now we have Hyun tagging to lair. He has the expansion on the low ground. He has the Harvester so that he can just split the drones between the 2 bases, have the better income continuously over his opponent. And Monster needs to be really careful. Hyun is in a good spot here after all.
Yeah,
that was
absolutely
close, but still.
Evolution Chamber is not only going to be useful now for this wall, but also for upgrades later on.
He even repositions his Spine Crawlers and then puts the injured one to the left side.
Yeah, and also transfuses on the spine, so that wall is going to be tight. I would say Hyun is ahead.
Yeah, he definitely is. Monster is catching up in the Harvester count, but that doesn't really matter all too much because Hyun has a way better tech. His lair tech is nearly completed, whereas Monster is just now starting his own.
And he's going to run past here now that his speed is done. Monster has a Spine Crawler finishing up at home. He's got 1 Baneling. That Baneling is so crucial right now.
Yeah, it's all about this Baneling. I actually would like if he put it at top of the ramp here.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit sneakier that way.
Hide it a little bit.
Yeah, now it's not going to accomplish anything here.
And not really getting off creep. But yeah, looking at Hyun, Hyun is supply block right now, but he's at 44 Harvesters against 39, so the Harvester count, the gap was closed by Monster, but this tech is just pretty awesome for Hyun. He has already his Ro4 and he's getting going for +1/+1. Roach speed should start in just a few seconds. He has the resources. Starts a few Banelings here.
Yeah. That was a pretty good trade. Really nice, actually. He's got to trade like this and make something work here if he wants to catch up now. Because as far as tech goes, he's way behind. Look at the upgrades.
You know, Monster kind of equalized this a little bit again. Hyun still has those upgrades on the tap, you are certainly right, but the thing is that the Harvester count was closed by Monster in just a few seconds, and now we're starting to equalize the advantage that Hyun had. He goes into a different tech, he chooses to go into Spire. If this Roach attack by Hyun is not doing enough damage or hitting a little bit too late, then Monster will once again be in a good position.
Yeah. This Spire needs to kill the hatch, though.
He gets into the 3rd base, actually.
The Spire absolutely needs to kill the hatchery or he's going to lose this game, I feel. You know,
Hyun is going for the infestation pit now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Monster was so ahead after that initial wave of damage and when he killed the hatchery that he did not need to be doing what he was doing.
The problem for Monster was that he never killed drones, and we had Hyun with more than twice the amount of Harvesters.
And once the hatchery was up, he could mine from 2 bases. It was pretty easy to just watch the economy.
And Hyun oversaturated 1 base a tiny little bit, but he always made sure that his Harvesters would survive, and this kind of won him the game.
This timing is going to crush.
That won him the early game. Put it like this.
This hatchery goes down, but what is there to defend against speed roaches with 1/1 upgrades? There's nothing.
Yeah, the Mutalisks will be able to shut this down, but it will take quite a while for them to do so.
Yeah. All the damage will be done way before the Mutalisks can even begin to think about killing +1 Carapace roaches.
Exactly, that's the problem. There are already way too many roaches in the main base at the natural, taking down Harvester after Harvester. And the Mutalisks will also take a little bit until they can take the roaches down. The armor upgrade will help them quite a bit, and you can already see how the Harvester count for Monster is not just plummeting down to 22.
He also saved the hatch. Monster sent all of his lings back home, but it just doesn't matter.
That's 16 Harvesters against 57 now. These Mutalisks are all that he has.
Yeah, he's got spores up already. Kazan's finished, he's getting the infestors. Yeah, these roaches will be cleaned up, but it's just not going to be enough. How is he going to be able to attack?
The only thing that Hyun has to do now is build units and do Spore Crawlers. And he builds roaches, he goes for infestors, Spore Crawlers are being established. When Monster arrives at the bottom right, there's nothing that he can do anymore. There are too many Queens, too many Spine and Spore Crawlers, too many infestors. Hyun, with this lead, should not lose this game.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's just way too much,
you know? The Queens alone will be able to transfuse each other for so long.
He covers all this bases here. And yeah, there we go. Infestor pops out. Bam, that's the fungal. GG, and Hyun with win number 1. Trying to start this comeback for his team.
Monster almost defeating himself, I feel, in that game.
It was a weird game, you know, very back and forth, and we had suddenly this natural dying, so Hyun played it well, is the victor.
Yeah, and that's the first victory of many he will need to actually take this.
Yeah. Next game, Antigua Shipyard and Keen.
I think that is what I would do, but I'm not sure if that's what Coach Choi is thinking right now. Tails just sat down, man.
Could be Tails.
Is that the proper position?
What's the map? Next map is going to be Antigua Shipyard.
It starts to point more and more to Keen.
Yeah, Antigua is more a map that a Terran player would like to choose against the Zerg. So Keen is definitely one of the players that we're going to see today, and it should actually be him on Antigua Shipyard now. Yep. This map gives him the best chances because left, besides Antigua, are Daybreak and Grand Lagoon. And if Keen is going to play today, he would definitely prefer Antigua Shipyard over the other two.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's possible he doesn't play today. We have something else, but Keen seems to be the right choice here.
Yeah, MVP shouldn't get complacent. They are in an awesome position where they have a really good shot at reaching the final, but still it's Hyun that's playing, and this guy has been on a roll. There's a reason why he is in the semi-final of Code S and why he was able to take down 14 opponents in the IPL Fight Club, so you should never underestimate him. If Hyun gets an opening here, the maps actually are not that bad for him if you look at it. Antigua Shipyard, maybe the only map where his opponent might have an advantage, but then he has to play on Daybreak and on Grand Lagoon. Both of those are fine.
Yeah, if he could take out the Antigua game, that's where the cards are stacked against him. Keen is a tough opponent as well. So this is something that he can do. This is possible.
I was also wondering if we see Sniper today at all because of the situation that we have in Code S. But let's have a quick look. It's Tails.
Tails?
It's really Tails. Wow, on Antigua. That's really surprising to me. There are so many Zerg players that love to play on Antigua against the Protoss, even though Protoss players have this sick timing on 2 bases to take down the 3rd base of their opponent. So that we don't see Keen here is really... it feels a little bit awkward.
But Tails may be the Hyun sniper. He may have had this build plan from the beginning. I would love to see a wicked Void Ray Zealot all in on this map against Hyun and just knock him out.
Tails is a sniper. We talked about this so often in the GSTL, and this is what he always practices for. And if he chooses Antigua here, it's certainly a map that he prepared for, where he wants to face an opponent like Hyun. So that's going to be quite the interesting match. I expected Keen, and I think most people thought that the Terran player would choose Antigua against Hyun. But it's Tails who wants to play here. This could mean 2-base timing, taking down the 3rd base, an immortal push maybe something completely different.
Yeah. And at this moment, Killer is just making sure all the settings are good here for him. Killer is just pressing 1A, 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 1A over and over again, just saying, yeah, okay, that works. Killer's also listening to his MP3 player right now while he talks to Tails. Why is he wearing that? Seriously. He's got the earbuds in. He's like, anyways, Tails, I really want to hear what you're saying, but like, I'm listening to this really good song right now. You know, Killer is actually a great master of strategy. That's why he is chosen as the coach for MVP. He knows a lot of different builds. He was really good at all-ins in the beta and in the early GSLs. So we'll see how things play out here. Hyun has got to be careful. If I'm Hyun and I'm the last player here playing against Tails, I'm going to scout like crazy. I'm going to make sure I know everything he's doing. I am not going to be expecting to play a late game.
I can actually see Hyun pull this off. Hyun could pull this off. And I feel the best chance for MVP is really sending out a player like Tails who surprises you. If you play a straight-up game against Hyun, it's so difficult because of how all the maps work, how much he plays these days, how well he's prepared to face all these races, and it's not going to be easy for any opponent. So, as I said, MVP shouldn't get complacent here. They're in the brilliant position that they can choose whatever map they want, whatever player they want, but still, up against Hyun, this is dangerous. Of course, TSL envisioned this team match to go a little bit different. They didn't expect to be down 3 games, but Hyun is really, really strong. And Antigua Shipyard, if Tails screws up at just 1 point, makes a mistake with his build or with an engagement with his micro, then Hyun could crush him. This is a good map for Zerg as long as you are able to dodge the 2-base timing.
Yeah, as long as you're careful enough. I mean, once they take Tails out here, then things start to get a little bit weird because the later you use DRG, the less strong he becomes, and he's also not really a very good ZVZ player, I feel, overall. I mean, with all the games we saw where he was behind, or rather he was ahead like 30 spy in ZVZ in the early game and then still lost.
There was this time when DRG was the ZVZ player. There was no one who could beat him. He won so many ZVZs in a row. But these days, I feel you're right. There are a lot of other players out there who are just better in the mirror matchup. But yeah, with there are so many, there are so many Protoss who don't like Antigua Shipyard. They hate this map. Every single time a Zerg player chooses it against Protoss, they're like, why do I have to play here? Why is this map actually in the map pool when I have to face a Zerg player?
Everything's kind of coming together to a point here where it's like Tails is going to do some sort of all-in. What's it going to be?
Talking about Tails, I feel that apparently he had some problem with his settings or with his keyboard. Maybe, oh well, okay, there he is, joining the lobby. So apparently Killer could fix whatever was wrong with Tails' setup. Tails is going to jump in here. My nose was itching for the last 20 seconds when we were on camera like so crazy and I couldn't stretch it. Finally, we have a player shot. Thank God. Oh, that feels good. That feels so good, Wolf. You have no idea. Oh.
Well,
I was nearly dying
next
here.
time that happens on camera, just say it and then just do it. It's fine.
Nah, that looks awkward. I look like a squirrel eating a nut when I'm rubbing my nose. The game is going to be live, guys, in just a few seconds. TSL is up against Team MVP.